Hey there guys, it's me Ryder with RRMTB, and today we are going to be building a 1x chainring setup on a Shimano XT crankset, and we are going to be using a Snail 34 tooth narrow wide chainring. I'll leave the link in the description to buy this part. Okay, so when your Snail comes out of the package, you're going to get your chainring, you're going to get your mounting bolts. The mounting bolts are the silver thing in the top left-hand corner, and you can see the chainring obviously. Now I'm mounting this on a new pair of Shimano XT crank arms. These crank arms are built well quality. You can buy these crank arms from $80 to $90 off of Amazon or any bike store. I recommend Pink Bike. I bought mine off Pink Bike and they last perfect. So this is the chainring. It is a Snail 34 tooth narrow wide chainring, and it's built pretty well. As I can see, I haven't rode it yet, so we'll have to test the build quality of it. It's aluminum, and when you get it out of the package, there's going to be a small bag in the bottom of the box. You don't want to lose these bolts. These mounting bolts are so you can mount it to your crank arms. So the crank arms are nice, and now we are going to go ahead and mount these onto the bike. Okay, so putting it on there is going to be relatively easy. I like to put my crank arms together, so it gives a little bit easier to put it on. So we're going to thread the chainring onto the crank arms. Try not to scratch the crank arms or the chainring because that just makes it look a little bit uglier. So we're going to want to line up the thread bolts onto the chainring mounting holes on the crankset, and we're going to want to get it as lined up as best as we can. Okay, so your next step to putting your chainring on is to get the mounting bolts seen here. These mounting bolts, you're going to want to unthread the back piece from it. The back piece has a little bit of a lip to keep it from sliding through so that you can mount it. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take the back piece and we're going to put it on the back side of the chainring, and we're going to line it up with the chainring mounting holes on the XT crank arms. Then we're going to hand tighten in the bolt so that we can get it hand tightened. We're going to do this to all of the bolts around the chainring. Okay, so once we get all of the mounting bolts hand tightened in, we're going to want to take the screwdriver, if you have one, which I don't have one that'll fit this, but there's little slip knots in the back of the bolt, and this is so that you can hold the back bolt still while you're wrenching on the front one so that you can get it tight. And you're going to want to torque these in a circular or star-shaped pattern as to make sure that these don't get stripped out. So, hold it with the back of your hand, and you are going to tighten it. Give it a little bit of a torque. You're going to give it an equal amount of spins on each of them until it's completely tightened in, and you'll hear the bolt slip when it's tight enough. And you're going to want to go to the next one at the diagonal side of it, and you're going to want to go to the next side and do the diagonal of that one also. And I'm going to take a torque driver, and I'm going to get it tight enough as to make sure it's not going to slip out or the bolts are going to fall apart while I'm riding my bicycle. And once you get this tight, it's pretty much assembled, but there's a couple more things you have to do, and I'm going to go over.
I'll get back to you guys once I get that.
Okay guys, and there you guys go. Your crank arms are assembled, and it's almost ready to be put on your bike. But if you had a sealed, closed assembly crank bottom bracket before, then you're going to have to change it out for an open bottom bracket so that you can assemble the new Shimano XT Holotech design. Holotech design is basically where it's a bolt or a big giant pin that goes through and latches on through the other side. Now this makes a much better, smoother ride and makes your bottom bracket not creak as much. Now, when it's talking about a narrow, wide chainring, narrow wide means that the teeth have a narrow wide pattern that makes it so that it doesn't fall off like the regular derailleurs. So when you have a 3-speed front cog on your chain rings, when the derailleur hits it, the chain, and tries to drag it off, it slides off with ease. But with the narrow wide design, it doesn't slide off easy, and it's made to not slide off. The only time that you will drop chains is if you're doing something really technical, which is very rare with a narrow wide chainring design like this. Narrow wide's been around for a little while, and it seems like it's going to work pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys. This is my first video on YouTube, and I hope my videos will get better. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to hear more from you guys. And if you like my videos, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next film. Goodbye.